So, let's continue our journey through the Rutland countryside. John Deere equipment there. So yeah, I suppose I best repeat what I said on the first video, because I probably won't publish that because all you can see is the roof. But yeah, this TTR suspension really is very, very good. It feels like the car has got more body control, but it just rides the bumps and the, what I call, and I might be wrong, but the high compression bumps really well. It just absorbs them. It's far less rattly, the car, you can notice that immediately. It's just really quite nice. And these aren't set up, these are on the heights that I put the dampers at. Rather sporty MX-5 there. These are at the heights I put the dampers at. So, I don't know, actually I said it's not the height, it's the preload that changes. I don't know, they're not even. The fronts are all set to soft. Fuck knows what the back is set to. Yeah, baby. Sounds good. So yeah, it's not being set up at all. This is as it comes, and it's really quite good. Handles nicely. I just can't wait to see what it'll be like once it's benefited from a really thorough setup. And I've decided I'm also going to get the roof and the bumpers painted and just get the car as nicely finished as I can. God, there's loads of vibrations and bits, but you know, that's sort of what you expect really, isn't it? But it's I think there's some stuff in the ashtray that's rattling around. I think there's a thing called the elan fizz, which is the gear stick, and that fizzes at a certain RPM, and it's just something they do. But I mean, what we're doing just under 3,500 RPM, 80 mile an hour on the clock. So what's that, about 60? This feels like. It's not the quietest, but perfectly pleasant. Yeah, I can definitely see this car having a lot of miles put on it this year. So I just think the more I use it, the better it will get. The more of its little gremlins I'll discover. See, it still wants to rotate. You can still feel it wanting to rotate around a right-hander, but it's nowhere near as bad as it used to be. And literally all that has been done. I'll get rid of that. All that has been done is the dampers, you know, and the springs. Yeah, really impressed with this TTR stuff. Really impressed. So yeah, I'll get off the main road now. We will turn right. I wonder if I won't say where I'm going. I won't say where I am. I'll see if anyone recognises it. Obviously, don't look at the road signs because that's cheating. That's not my slip road. Sorry, love. This is mine. And down here we go. And listen to those carbs. I know they're not working at their best at the moment because low RPM stuff, they really don't like it, but Oh, sound good. Yes. Oh, fuck me. This is really nice. This is really nice. I get what the hype's about now. 21 years I've had this thing and I've never really got it. Oh, this feels great. The roof is by far and away the best addition to this car. I would not be liking it as a soft top. Oh, but the roof just makes it, I don't know, I just like, yeah. There's a few holes and gaps I need to plug up, but oh, I like it. I really like it. I know people think I'm mad for putting a roof on a convertible, but oh, it's just makes it feel far more intimate, I suppose. I don't know. Does it make it feel more I think I'm making stuff up now. I'm not a motoring journalist, I'm not a journalist of any sort, but you know, hopefully you're getting to see some beautiful countryside views. I mean, look at that. Can you see that? Oh, it's lovely. It's lovely, but we've done 13 miles. It's on its second tank of fuel. One thing I will say, it's not particularly fuel efficient. I expect that to improve with use because it does spend at the moment an awful lot of time sat on the driveway idling. So it's obviously doing 0 mpg. Would it do 0 mpg or does it go down to gallons per mile? Oh, that's an interesting question. But yeah, I'm not really using it too hard. We're clear, let's go. I'm just kind of giving it a bit of a shakedown, so I'm not going too far from home. I'm going to do this again tomorrow. Then I'm going to drop the oil. I'm going to drop the coolant, and I've got some uprated suspension steering joints to go on. And then I'm going to get it up in the air and just do a spanner check on everything. Check everything's tight. And then hopefully just do more and more miles in it. So yeah, it's definitely, there's a bit of a vibration once you get the speedo above 90. I don't know what that is. I can't quite feel whether that's a prop shaft, a wheel. Yeah, odd. I suppose it's because I'm not really connected to the chassis. I'm sat on fiberglass, not the chassis. I mean, the prop shaft, when I took it off, it's always gone back on exactly the way it came off. So I suppose I should have dipped the clutch and seen if it went away or not. That would have told me something, maybe. Obviously, being a serial owner of BMW 5 Series and P38 Range Rovers, I am very, very good at tracking down vibrations, because God, those things vibrate. 5 Series especially, E39s and E60s, great car, but they shimmy. They shimmy. And you can change your suspension arms all you like and your brakes, but it comes back. Ruins them. I've had an E39 and an E60 M5, and I've had an E39 540. I've also had E34s, E28s. They're all the same. The E12 I had wasn't. Now that's because it had a different front suspension setup. But yeah, you just think, come on BMW. You know, other people can do it. I don't mind the suspension wearing out, but stop fucking shaking the wheel at 60. But yeah, this feels okay. It's just you start to tune into all the little noises you can hear going on underneath the normality of the engine, like little vibrations, little reciprocating things, and it's like, is that just me being able to hear stuff because there's no sound insulation and it's naturally just, you know, noisier because I'm not really insulated from the car, or is there something breaking and about to fall off? You know, you hear a vibration from the back. Well, is that the spare wheel which is loose? rattling around, or is it the diff making a bid for freedom? And then you think, shit, did I do up the diff mount bolts? And I'm like, I know I did, but then you just sat there in the car thinking it, and you worry and you worry and you worry. Right, shall I drive you through Stamford? Oh god, I've just given the game away. Oh, bloody hell. Shall I drive you through? I'm a bit cautious of doing it. Now that bit I've just driven over at the bottom of Roman Bank is rough as a badger's arse, and the car was vibrating a bit, but it wasn't that bad. I will look like an arse. I've got a fucking iPhone strapped to my head. I'm gonna look like an influencer or a blogger or a vlogger. Well, I suppose I am a vlogger. Am I a vlogger? I just keep people updated with my project by video. I suppose that by definition is a blogger. Oh dear, I don't really want to become one of those people, but I seem to have... I quite enjoy it. My little updates, and I've got my, you know, my small kind of section of YouTube which seems to appreciate the content, so, you know, I've always said as long as I get more than 10 views, I will carry on, and I'm comfortably ahead of that, but I'm quite happy at this level. I don't want to turn into one of those people that's asking for likes and subscriptions and whatnot. It's just, you know, where does it end? You know, unless you're one of the 0.5% that actually can make a living out of it, it's just bullshit. You know, if you like guys like this content, watch it. If you don't, go and watch something else. That's what I would say. I don't think anyone spotted the camera. I don't look like a complete dickhead, which is great. Everyone's out having a beverage. Where am I going to go? I think I'm going to go straight on. You get some good garbage down here. See, old people, they want to shout at you, then they see it's an elan, and they start cooing over it. They love it. They love it. Right, now what's Mr. 107 doing here? Come on, mate. You're tiny, you can spin that in. A little bit more now, and full lock. Yeah, see, she's old school, she's slow, but she's nailed it. She's got it, but I think that person there just saw the camera. It's probably like, what on God's green earth is going on? Oh, I'm quite enjoying this. I could drive around all day. And where's my temperature? We're at 90 degrees. Got good oil pressure. I probably should think about getting an oil temperature. Come on, mate. That would be quite useful, wouldn't it? You could get one of those fancy tacks with more information in it. Alright, what's going on here? Some of my old haunts up this street when I was a younger drinking man. Not no more. Oh, run, love. Oh, we might make the green light. We're gonna make it. Look at that. The gods truly are. That's an interesting outfit. The gods truly are shining down on us today. Oh, that was bumpy, but it wasn't jarry. It didn't make me wince. Sorry, didn't indicate. I'll wave at you. Although I was in a lane that could only turn left, so technically I don't have to indicate, but I still should have done. I'm a bad person for not indicating. Tell you one thing it doesn't have, and that's a clock. The radio does have one, but I don't quite know how to turn it off. Yeah, you see, you can't turn the radio off to therefore get the time, which is annoying. You could go cruising at McDonald's, all the boys, all the bloods. See, that Mustang that just came past, you couldn't hear it until the exhaust was level with you. Then you could just hear the kind of over-engineered exhaust, which sounded fine, but you know, where's the induction? It's the front that you need. It's the front, that's the interesting bit. Right, I'm now going to do a lap of not the Stamford Ring Road, but just head out, take the country roads back, and park it up. But yeah, I'm thoroughly enjoying myself. And one thing about this car is it's enjoyable, and I'm not really thrashing it. I mean, I've gone full throttle. I don't think I've actually gone full throttle. I've got about 90% 3 or 4 times. Most of the time it's using 40 to 60% throttle, working the mid-range and the revs. What are the police doing? Is he on a stakeout? Ooh. Now where he's parked is where I broke down when my drive shaft let go about a year ago. Was it a year ago? Maybe a little bit less. Yeah. And I was rescued by some kind man in the AA. But yeah, the point I was trying to make is this car's quite nice just to not tickle along, but you just sort of flow it along, because it weighs 2 parts of fuck all. There's no real inertia to overcome. You can just sort of, you know, tickle it. I'm going to use tickle it. You just sort of tickle it down the road, and because it takes, every input's very not manual, but very granular. You know, you're paying a lot of attention to the small things, like how the clutch feels, the gear shift, the steering, and it takes quite a lot of, not a lot of energy, but it takes more concentration, and therefore you feel like you're still having to work to achieve driving in a nice, smooth, fluid motion. I think I'm contradicting myself there, but it's not something that just happens, but it sort of does subconsciously, but you're actually, you know, it's enjoyable, rather than, you know, a modern car where unless you're at 10 tenths, they're just a bit dull. But yeah, this is, see, round about now I can start putting more throttle in. Now if this Volt, well actually I wouldn't chuck it in, these are some of my favourite corners down here. I won't chuck it in because I haven't done a bolt check on the car yet. But oh, it's beautiful. This one, blind but quick, just duck a wheel over the white line. And then this is the one where, oh, it gets everyone because it's actually almost flat, but everyone slows down too much for it, and it just throws you beautifully down the road. And it was actually enjoyable in this, what was that, 40 miles an hour. I suppose that's the pièce de résistance of this car, isn't it? It's enjoyable at speeds where it's not as if you know, you're not avoiding prison. You're actually even avoiding a speeding ticket. You know, it's that slow that you're not really in any trouble, which is great. Now which idiot designed this junctiony thing here? Coming over a blind crest. They're coming over a blind crest. Who? And there's a junction the other side of the road. I mean, what sort of spanner in the council thought that was a good idea? You know, probably someone who doesn't even have a fucking driving license. Oh, it drives me nuts. I mean, there's better ways to slow the traffic down than creating another, probably 3 hazards. Oh. But anyway, I'm really happy with my race tech. It makes me feel like a racing driver. I've got my rev limit hardwired at 6.5, and I've got a soft cut at 6.3. But to be honest, it feels like the engine's pretty much done by 6,000. It hasn't got a lot more to give, so you'd naturally not really surpass that anyway. But it's nice to know it's there in case I forget or go deaf. but this really it's crying out for a better engine. So my plan is a 1760 bottom end. You can do those very cheaply with crossflow bits, or you can go all steel. The steel only becomes a benefit when you've got a proper head that can breathe to like 8.5 grand. So the problem you've got there is it's proper money to do the head work, and when you're getting that high up the rev range, you're putting a lot of stress on the rest of the driveline, like your rear hub shafts and whatnot. So the sensible thing would be to get a really nice 1750, 1760 bottom end, and she definitely saw the camera. With the 1760 bottom end with crossflow bits, so it's just really well bolted together, really nicely balanced. This gear shift is beautiful as well. It's really nicely balanced, and then do some light head work, bigger valves, spikier cams, and then just run it like that. You know, you should be at 140, 150 horsepower, decent amount more torque. The carbs will work better with a better engine, and then yeah, then you're done really. Just leave it like that, you know. Then just fix things that break and upgrade them as you go, and you've got a beautiful car. But oh my god, I've got to go left, right to go home, but I'm not sure I want to. In fact, I'm not. I'm going to just do a little bit more. This is really nice. It'd be nicer if Sue wasn't so obeying, wasn't so aware of the speed limit and get a shifty on. That would be nice. T888 Sue. Ah, there's our learner driver from earlier. He's made good progress. Learning to park. Amazes me that he still bothered teaching people to 3-point park, because no one fucking does it. Apart from that old deer we saw earlier, she did it. And although she was slow, she looked like she was absolutely pitch perfect on where she was going. Right. Well, I have thoroughly enjoyed this. We've done 20, just clicking over to 22 miles, and 22 is my lucky number, baby. Yeah. I can definitely see this doing some big mileage in the future. Well, from now on. Yeah, when it's when possible, when I don't need to fit 4 people in or whatever. I'll listen to that. It's just I don't know if you can see that, but it is a lovely gear shift. There's just a few knocks and rattles that I need to hunt down and solve. But right, look, I'll try and look at the gear shift. Wait for Sue to get out of the way. There you go. Oh, it's lovely. And it gets better the more up the car you are, the more you're revving it, it just really just pings. But not only is this it's a 2000E rocket box or bullet box. I think it's a rocket box. It's a Ford box, but they improved it by putting the gear shift lever directly into the meat and potatoes of the gear cluster, rather than being at the end of the tail shaft. Oi oi. It's right in the middle, and it's just, I mean, the Ford shifts are great anyway, and this just makes it better. Now, I did see a Harry's Garage video when he was in his elan, and he said he had a bolt-on thing that made it even better. And I mean, I don't think I have that, but I'm just wondering how it could be any better. Oh, nice car. I just don't think it could be improved upon. It's just so direct. Come on, Mr. Zeus. There we go. And you're 318. God, I bet that's depressing. 318. Fuck that. speeding, Mr. Officer. That was just a deception of the camera. Right, we've done another little circuit. I suppose that is the measure of how good a car is. You know, the single... If you had to measure a car on how good it is by any one metric, other than the fact that it doesn't break down and it gets to where it's going to, it's when you reach the end of your destination, do you think of an excuse to drive further? If you do, the car's amazing. If you don't, I don't care what it is. Oh, fuck yes. It's the bollocks. It is the bollocks. Oh, I'm really enjoying this. I'm really enjoying this, but I am going to drive home. And I am going to park it up. And we're going to do more of this tomorrow. I don't need to do all the miles in one day. It will be here tomorrow. As long as it doesn't burn down, touch wood. Jinxed it now, haven't I? Well, we're back home. I just cut the last bit of the journey just in case. It's probably good practice. Oh yeah, brilliant. So it's 23.7 miles. It really hasn't misbehaved. It's been great. Sayonara, guys. I hope you enjoyed this, because I've thoroughly enjoyed driving it, and I hope it comes out as good as I hope and it's not totally awful. So, catch you on the other side, mother. I'm going to be polite and not swear. Catch you on the other side, ladies and gentlemen. It's been a pleasure. Good news. My oil leak's fixed. The top of the engine is actually oil tight. I never thought I'd say that, but it is. So, after this I've got a new joint. Someone said, get rid of the joint with the rubber bit in it. I didn't check if mine had the rubber bit in it, but I've got a new one coming anyway. And I've got some solid rack mounts. I've got a new side repeater for that because the connection's bad and it's just intermittent. And then sort the lights out. Something wrong there. And then it's into the paint shop. I've chosen the colour. I know what colour's going to be painted. It's going to be the same as the mirror and the bumper. Obviously not silver. And it's not going to be red. And then it's just got to go off and have its alignment. And then it probably needs the engine looking at, but I can work around it. It's pretty much done. You know, just needs to, yeah. It's just going to be niggly jobs from now on in, but really bloody pleased with it. When I parked up earlier, I sat in the car for a good 10 minutes, I didn't want to get out. Just really enjoy it. I think we're going to be best of friends.